welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, give it a stretch. Okay. Hopefully that last work session was a productive one for you. I think I got all the post radio show promo stuff done, I think. So I'm just kind of like going over to make sure I got everything. Think I got everything. It's fine. Cool. So for this break session, I figured, so last week I went to a couple of meetups, which was pretty good. Got to see some folks. So that was cool. Met some new people. Great. And the Orlando JS meetup, I was able to do a quick lightning talk. And so I figured I would just go over what I did there. And yeah, so let me share my screen. And this is up on my website as well. So let me copy this. I'm going to add it to the list of links as well. All right. So it's for a new like tool I made because, but I think I talk about it in the slide. So, all right. So start off with saying, hey, how do you say this word or whatever you, right? And I'm like, because there's two different ways. But for me, what clinches it for me is that, how would you say this? Then just take away the T. So that's that. All right. So then next. Like why not both, right? Because a lot of times we just say these things in our mind anyway, so it doesn't really matter how it's pronounced. So either way, it's fine. All right. So I just introduced myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm Dwayne. I'm a JavaScript developer advocate at Vonage, and I just noticed because of the sharing tab thing up here at the top, it moves everything down. So that's fine. All right, and then I have links to our developer docs, so you can check that out. You know what I'm saying? If you so choose, if you want to do some cool stuff. All right, cool. All right, so then, and part of my responsibilities are kind of like write blog posts. And I have a link to all my different blog posts that I have written thus far over at Vonage. I'm actually currently working on a blog post. And that's why I built this tool to help me with that. And so, so there's a bunch of different blog posts, a lot of them on web components. All right. So back to this. So I write a lot of blog posts, and this current one that I'm working on, it showcases a feature that you kind of have to see it working. Like I can tell you in the blog post, like, oh, there's this new thing, it's super cool. And I can't just be like, trust me, it's working, right? So I built a demo application so that you can actually see it working. So it's like a one-click spin up, and you can see it, you can interact with it and see the feature working, right? And so I wanted to be able to show that in the blog posts. And so I figured what I can do is I can take a recording of the demo of the thing working, so that people can see that, and then if they so choose, be able to go and check it out for themselves by running the demo. So I figured, all right, cool, I'm gonna make a GIF out of it. And aside from Giphy, which I don't remember why I didn't use that, I'm not sure, but I was going to like other sites. I was trying to find a way to be able to convert video to a GIF. And some of them were kind of like look sketchy. And so I figured, since I've been kind of playing around with working with video like kind of editing, like how I edit the highlight clips for this, the break sessions that I post to social media. I was like, pretty sure I can do the same thing. So I did, and figured go take a look at a demo. All right, demo time. So here it is. Now this is actually built into the site, mylight.work, right? Let me, I'm gonna post a link to this directly also, or you can get it through the slides, which I also link to next to recording this video. But I figured take a look at what I built and how I built it in the different like web APIs and things and libraries used to create it, right? And so you can see here, you can click and drag a video. So let me do that. I'm going to drag the past work session, the recording of that. And then you notice you can't see the file being dragged because screen share permissions, but you can see that the border turns green whenever I'm over the actual area where the drag and drop works, right? So let me do that. Cool. And then it turns into the preview here. And I created this like double slider thing here so that you can kind of like scrub through the video. And let's say you just want a random GIF of me stretching for some reason. And so you can go and do the endpoints here, like the start and end points. Let's keep going. How long did I stretch for? So you can kind of see, keep going. All right, there. And then you can play it to get like a preview. So play.
All right. Well, actually, this is the first break session. So
all right, so that is the GIF. I don't know if you heard that, maybe. So then I can decide the width that I want and like the frames per second. So I have the width set initially to 300. You can make it whatever. And then the frame rate, I just selected 12 because that's what I saw in like different other like tutorials and blog posts and articles and things. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? All right. Then I click convert. A modal pops up. And so it's doing the conversion. It's like mad quick. So like it shows off like it's going to take forever and then it just works. I don't know. And then let me download the GIF. And then I have it. So I wonder if I can, but yeah, here it is. This is what it looks like or whatever, right? Cool. Now close, and then it takes you back. Great. And then notice that the GIF is generated in the browser. The video is not sent to a server or anything like that. All right, cool. So that was a demo. Great. Now, next, so I'm gonna talk about kind of like what I use to create it. And first, so the drag and drop stuff, right? So there's actual APIs built into the web that allows for that, which is pretty dope. And so I have like links to different resources here that you can check out. And so, so this is a web.dev. These are web.devs from there, all right? And then let's check out this file API one, which is Mozilla Developer Network, MDN. All right, so just really quickly, let me share this screen here. So yeah, so I just found some really cool, so the HTML5 drag and drop API. So it's kind of like links to find out more information. So we kind of give you a really cool example. What I pretty much did, I just had a, I did drag, enter, and drop. That's basically the, I think drag leave to make it go back to the original. So just those three, but you have a lot of other ones that you can do. And so they give you different examples, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so there's that. I think this one actually like makes you, yeah, so you can like, so it kind of steps you through being able to work it, which is pretty cool. All right, cool. And then they talk about like using it for like file upload stuff. So that's what I did, was that I use also, so okay, so that's one thing there. And then here's another one, how to drag and drop files. This one uses the file system access API, where you can actually, like, if you wanted to be able to like edit the file, let's say it's like a Word document or something, then you'd be able to edit it and save it. It's pretty cool stuff. The file system access API. That's pretty cool. So that kind of talks about the drag and drop API along with that. But what I used was the file API. And so using that, so this from MDN, I was able to like get the contents of that video that I clicked and that I dragged over there. I also have it to where you can also like select and it'll bring up the thing you can select from your computer, but I just showed the drag and drop. And so I use this to be able to get the contents of the video and then put that in a video player, which showed the preview, right? So yeah, so some really cool resources to check out. All right, back to here. So that's that, right? Then to kind of be able to select the start and end points, I created like a double slider. And so it's basically two regular range inputs. So you have like the input tag, you put the type range, and you get these things here. Did some styling, then did a position absolute so that they would like go on top of each other. And then the handle, or I forgot what they called it. The slider, I think it's called. I don't remember. But I basically put like a Z index higher so that it would be above the rails, right? And so there's that. And I have like this MDN here that you can check out. And I think at the end of the day, like I knew what I was doing, but I couldn't get the little tab to be on top. And I just did like a search. And then that's where I saw that you can go ahead and do the, like I keep forgetting what it's called. I think it's, I don't remember, but the little slider knob thing that is like this weird CSS that you had to do to get it. And I just did a Z index on top of that to throw it on top. And I think this one, this article here has like how you can style everything. So like adding different labels. Yeah, like sliders and knobs. So yeah. But there's, where is it? Yeah, so compatibility of CSS properties and styling the range element. So you can go and check all that stuff out. Like it's in depth. All right, then, so now the thing is that with this, let me start closing some of these tabs. I'm having way too many tabs open right now. All right, now, one thing you may have noticed that, okay, back to here. So here's the demo, right? Here's the actual thing working. So I'm going to select from computer. I'm going to select the same one that we just had. Now, when creating this, right, I wasn't sure how I wanted these to interact with each other. Like if I have this one, which I'm saying is the start one, if it goes past the end one, if I let it do that, then what happens? Does it then become the end? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if the end would go before the start, well, then does that become the start? Instead of doing all that, I was like, I'm not going to make that, have it do that. So this is always, the one on the left is always the start. The one on the right is always the end. And so I made it to where that you can't really, like, they'll kind of like go on top of each other, but it will always stay on the left for the start. I think I have it to where it's like if it's like a second or whatever, it will do that. It will move the other one over. And so, yeah. So I did that. So that was kind of a pain to do, right? And so I'm thinking, because this is pretty useful, and I might use it again. So that leads me to think, well, it's like, I don't want to have to rewrite all the stuff that I did to create it. And I think it's useful, and I think I can reuse it, and I don't have to rewrite it. So I think it's a good candidate for me to create a web component, maybe. So we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. So I might create like a double slider web component. All right. Now, I asked the folks, like, who's ever heard of FFmpeg? Who's experienced the greatness that is FFmpeg? And a few people, one person said they're using it like in their back end. I'm like, all right, nice. And one person said they use it in their, like through a CLI, which I've seen that more, you know what I'm saying, using it as a CLI tool. So I have a link to their site, and then also like a wiki, which kind of like goes through a whole bunch of stuff. So here's the site. And so you can see it's a complete cross-platform solution to record, convert, and stream audio and video. So that convert is like where I'm like, oh, so yeah, I can take that video and convert it into the GIF. Cool. So I'm like, all right, FFmpeg is what I thought it could. I thought I could do it, and I was right that it could do it. And then one of the places I go to mostly is the wiki, because the wiki has all this, like, a lot of information, but it also shows you like different guides, kind of like how to do filtering, what to do with images, like creating a video slideshow from images. Like, it has all these like cool use cases, right? And so with that being said, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to use FFmpeg. Now, I think I've spoken about it before here, but here on the slide, I was like, well, like the person used it in their backend and the other person used it as CLI, but had they heard about FFmpeg WASM, you know, FFmpeg in the browser? And so yeah, super cool. And I link to the site for the project. And it's a really cool project, so you can check it out. Like, it's amazing. It's I use it for this site as well. I'm not sharing the tab. Am I sharing the tab? Oh yeah, I'm sharing the tab. Okay, just the delay. And but yeah, super cool. They even give you like a playground to mess around with stuff. Really cool. I don't remember if they showed like converting. Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, they're kind of converting here. So a WebM to an MP4 file. All right. So yeah, so they do kind of show it. So what I needed was here you go, in the AVI to MP4. So yeah, so they do convert, and it's the way they have it set up is kind of amazing. So basically, you take the commands from like FFmpeg site or wherever you find one, like the CLI command, and it allows you to pretty much take the same command and put it into the WASM, so it does it. So it's not too different, right? So I was like, all right, well, let me do some research into like turning video into GIFs, right? And so I found a link. Well, it was like, yeah, I found a link to Giphy's engineering site where they go through the whole thing, like on how to create from a GIF to a video and from a video to a GIF. I'm like, oh, this is great. But the thing is, it looks like the site is down. It was taken down. I don't know why or when, but shouts to archive.org and the Wayback Machine, I was able to find it. So that's what I have linked here. And yeah, and look like, because the most recent one was from like, I think like a couple months ago. So I'm not sure what happened, but I have a link to it. And so again, shouts to archive.org. And let me share this tab. And so how to make GIFs with FFmpeg, basically what I need, right? And so they have this really cool stuff. So they kind of go through everything. So they go from GIF to video, and they explain like all the different parts, which is really cool, right? And so I go yada yada yada. So now I was interested in video to GIF, and so they go through and they explain the stuff again. It's again really well planned out. And so I went all the way down. Again, you have links to it, so you can check it out. I think the one I use, basically the one at the end here. And so this is the command. Now this is using the CLI. So I basically took the command, turned it so that the WASM library would be able to use it. And that is how I got everything to pretty much work. Yes. And yeah, so again, you can check it out. Let me see. Next. And then yeah, that was it. Cool. And then after that, my different websites. Again, the website where everything is at is mylight.work. My radio show, nobetterhiphop.com. This right here, I promoted this, untilit.works. And then my actual website. And that is it. So that was the lightning talk I gave last week. And people seem to like it. And asked me questions and stuff about things. So that was always cool. So yeah. So I think it went well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad it worked, the demo and stuff. Like then and now. So that's cool. So if you want to check it out, you can. It's there. Feel free to do so. Again, everything is done in the browser. And so it's not like it's sending it off anywhere. So I don't know. I thought it was cool stuff. All right. So let me get y'all back to work because there's a few things I'm trying to get done. Like it's the first of the month, which means, you know, got to pay my bills and some other random things. So yeah, and some other projects. So now that is done, there's another project I want to get back to and start working on that. So yeah, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Let me get y'all back to work. Again, thanks for hanging out. I'll send y'all with some traveling music. This right here is Anthony Cruz, aka A Butta. Track's called Thank You. When we come back, we'll take a look at an artist's website, listen to music, maybe watch some videos, maybe you'll become a fan. And till then, y'all be safe, and I wish you much productivity. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.
I wanna say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I wanna say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like hell. And everybody says hell. We spread love like hell. I wanna say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I wanna say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like hell. And everybody says hell. We spread love like hell. I wanna